everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful Tunisian smock stitch pattern. It's really similar to the honeycomb stitch, but we are not using purl stitches. So this is how it looks like. What I really like about this pattern is that it's not rolling in. Normally, you know, when you work in Tunisian crochet, it rolls up really bad, but this one I didn't even block or anything, and it's just how it's supposed to be. So this makes it a great pattern for a baby blanket, for pillowcases, for headbands, whatever you would like to crochet with it. This is how the back Today I'm using a 7mm crochet hook. You will also need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and of course it depends on the project. You will need a cable that attaches to your Tunisian crochet hook. And the yarn I'm using today is like a jersey yarn. It's from Rico Designs. It's similar to Bernat home decor yarn. I really enjoy working with this yarn, and I will put the link for the yarn down below. And now let's get started. We will start with a slip knot and we will crochet chains. The only thing you have to watch out for is that your chain has a multiple of 2. For my example today, I will crochet 12 chains. So you will just grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through until you reach the desired length you need for your project. Just like I said, it has to be a multiple of 2. So do that, and I will see you back in a moment. Once you reach a desired length you need for your project, we will start our first row. And all we have to do is insert a hook into the second stitch from the hook. So right here, and we will start with the simple stitch. So you will insert your hook, grab the yarn, and pull up. Go to the next stitch, grab the yarn, and pull up. And you will repeat this all the way along until you have all the stitches on your hook. So go to the next stitch, grab the yarn, and pull up. If you started with 12 chains, you will have 12 loops on your hook. I'm here in my last stitch now, so insert, grab the yarn, and pull up. And this is how it looks like. Crochet the back row of Tunisian crochet, which always stays the same. We will grab the yarn and pull through the first loop. This is our edge stitch. This is always really important that you only pull through the first loop. And now you will grab the yarn and pull through 2. Grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through 2. And you will repeat this all the way until you have 1 loop left on your hook. So pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And this is how the first row looks like. Which is only a preparation for the smock stitch. This one will not count as a repeat row. We will be working into the stitches right here. So this very first stitch you will always skip, and you will work into the front rows right here, into the stitches right here. And like I said, this is not a repeat row, this is just a preparation for the following rows. So what we are going to do is yarn under, not yarn over like you would use for a double crochet, just yarn under. The yarn is now on your hook, and what you're going to do is just hold the yarn. This is really important that you hold the yarn and don't let go. And now we will go through the 2 stitches here. So we will crochet 2 stitches together. So you will go through the first and to the second. We have the 2 loops here. Still hold the yarn, grab the yarn, and pull through the 2 loops, and now you can let go. And this is how it looks like. So again, yarn under, hold the yarn, insert your hook into the next 2 stitches here, still hold the yarn tight, grab the yarn and pull through 2. and now you can let go. And this is our repeat. So yarn under, hold the yarn, go into the next 2 stitches, grab the yarn and pull up. Yarn under, hold the yarn, go through the next 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull up. And in this row here, for the smock stitch, we will always need an extra stitch, so you will have 13 loops on your hook. Normally you will have 12, but for the smock stitch we need 1 extra stitch. So when you turn your work around here on the end, you can see the small little X, and this is our border stitch. And for this row you will yarn under, hold the yarn again, go into the last stitch. Just here always make sure that you have the 2 loops on the hook, just like this. Grab the yarn and pull up. And now we have 13 loops on the hook, and now we will do the back row in Tunisian crochet, which will stay the same. So you will grab the yarn and pull through the first loop, and this is our border stitch. And now we will grab the yarn and pull through 2. So pull through 2. It's a little bit tight since we did the yarn under, so just take your time, grab the yarn and pull through 2. Pull through 2 loops until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2 until you have 1 loop left. And this is how it looks like. Now we will start the first row of our repeat. There are 2 rows that needs to be repeated through this whole pattern. So just now we will start the first row that you need to remember for the repeat. So this is the first one, and in this row here we will be working in the stitches here. So the stitch here and here, and also here and here. So what we're going to do now is start with 1 simple stitch. So into the very first stitch here, we are not doing a yarn under or anything. We will insert our hook through the very first stitch, grab the yarn and pull up. And now we will yarn under, and just like before, we will hold the yarn and we will crochet those 2 stitches together. So here and here. But sometimes, since we have tension from the very first stitch, this stitch here will disappear a little bit. Right now you can still see it really good, but if you don't, just pull it a little bit and you will be able to see. So we will go through the first and the second. We will crochet 2 stitches together, still hold the yarn with your finger, grab the yarn and pull up. Like now you can see it, the stitch here disappears a little bit, just pull it, and now you can see those are the next 2 stitches we need to crochet together. Yarn under, hold your yarn, go through the first stitch here and the next one, grab the yarn and pull up. And this is our repeat. And here again, you can see it disappeared a little bit. So all I'm going to do is pull, and now I can see the stitch. So right here and here. So go through the first one, through the next one, and pull up. And again, go through 2. Now we're here on the end, and you can see we have only 1 stitch left, and here's our border stitch. So what we are going to do now, since we started with a normal simple stitch, we need to yarn under, go through the stitch, the last one here, and work a simple stitch, just like that. And now we're at the border. We are not going to yarn under anymore. We will just insert our hook into the border stitch here, grab the yarn and pull up. And this is how the row looks like. And now we will again grab the yarn, pull only through the first loop, and now grab the yarn and pull through 2 all the way until you have 1 loop left on your hook. So pull through 2, pull through 2 all the way until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Just like this. Now let's start with our second row that needs to be repeated. We just did the first one, the back row stays always the same, and now it's the second one. So what we are going to do is to skip the very first stitch here. Like you can see, it goes a little bit sideways, so you always remember when it goes sideways like this, we will skip the first stitch. Now we will yarn under, skip the stitch here, go into the next stitch and crochet those 2 together, just like that. Yarn under, hold the yarn, go through the next 2 stitches and pull through, yarn under, again through the next 2 stitches, grab the yarn and pull up. And we will do this all the way until we're here at the end. And here we have the last 2 stitches. So again, yarn under, go through the last 2 stitches. And now it's really important, since we skipped the first stitch, we have to yarn under, go into the border stitch, like that, grab the yarn and pull up. And now you can already see this beautiful smock stitch. And now again, we will grab the yarn, do our border stitch. So you will go through the first loop. And now again, grab the yarn and pull through 2. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2 until you have 1 loop left on your hook. So just like that, you'll pull through all the way until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Just like this. And these are the 2 rows we will be repeating through this whole pattern. I will show you the repeat of row 1 and row 2 one more time, and those will be the repeats we need for this beautiful stitch. So we will start with row 1 repeat again. Like you can see here, the stitches are nice and even. And you've seen in the previous row, the stitch was crooked to the right side. So you will always remember, when you have those stitches nice and even here, you will always start with a normal simple stitch. We will not skip, we will insert into the very first stitch and work a simple stitch. Now yarn under, go into the next stitch and the next stitch next to that, and you will crochet 2 stitches together. Yarn under, again, grab the stitch and the next one, grab the yarn and pull up. And you will repeat this all the way along. Yarn under, go into the next stitch and the next, so you have 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull up, and now we have 1 stitch left. So here you will yarn under, go into the very last stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and we are at the border stitch now. So here you will not yarn under, you will just go into the border stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and now again the Tunisian back row. So grab the yarn, pull through 1 for the border stitch, and now grab the yarn and pull through 2 all the way along until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Since we did the yarn under, it's a little bit tight sometimes, so just take your time. Grab the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. We have 1 loop left, and this is how it looks like. Now again we will do the repeat of row 2 like I showed you before. Now you can see that this stitch is pulling to the right side. This is how you remember. You can also write those 2 rows down. This will make it a lot easier. So for row 2 you will skip this very first stitch here. We will yarn under, skip the first stitch, go into the second, and crochet those 2 together, just like that. Yarn under, again, go through the next 2 and 2 together. Yarn under, hold the yarn, pull through 2, yarn under, pull through 2, and here we have the last 2 stitches, so you will yarn under, pull through 2, and in this row it's really important that you yarn under on the very end to hold the yarn and work your border stitch with a yarn under. This is really important. And now the back row, so grab the yarn, pull through 1, and now again pull through 2 all the way until you have 1 loop left on your hook. And those are the 2 rows you have to repeat over and over again until you reach the desired height you need for your project. So this is the 2 repeat rows we need to be working in. Now again you will work a simple stitch, yarn under, crochet those 2 together, yarn under, 2 together, all the way until you in your last stitch. Here you will work a yarn under, a simple stitch, and just a normal border stitch. Then you will do the back row and then repeat of row 2, which will be skipping the very first stitch, a yarn under, and you will crochet 2 together all the way along. And there's also super important in the second row, repeat that you yarn under for the edge stitch. And those are the 2 rows we will be repeating. I will crochet a couple more rows and I will show you how it looks like and how to finish off our work. I crocheted a couple more rows and here you can see this beautiful stitch. It's super easy and fun as soon as you remember the 2 repeat rows, which are also super easy. Like I said, sometimes it helps just to write it down and this will help you a lot. So this is how it looks like. This is how the back looks like. And now I will show you how to finish off your work, which is also super easy. So like we did before, we will work into the stitches here. So you will go into the very first one, grab the yarn and work a slip stitch. Go into the next stitch, grab the yarn and make a slip stitch. And this is all you have to do. So it's super easy. Go into the next stitch, grab the yarn and a slip stitch. Into the next, grab the yarn and a slip stitch. And now you can see this beautiful border here. And this is all we have to do. Just 1 slip stitch in every stitch. I'm here in my border stitch and all we have to do is insert a hook just as normal. I already cut the yarn so it's a little bit short, so you will grab the yarn, pull up 2 loops on your hook, work a slip stitch and now chain 1. So just grab the yarn, make a chain 1, pull through and pull tight. And this is how you finish off. And all we have to do now is just sew in our ends. To sew in our ends, we will just grab our yarn needle, pull it through. My yarn tail is a little bit short, so you will just go through some stitches back and forth. So pull through, go the opposite side, pull through, again, pull through here. Now we'll go back one more time and pull through. And now all we have to do is cut the yarn, and you can't even see where we sewed in our yarn end. And we are done. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to see what you made out of this beautiful stitch. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.